Hello everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having an amazing day, and we're going to take a look at here at Bitcoin again, kind of see what's going on, of course. How has it shaped up from yesterday? Obviously not that much, but what's going to happen next and what are the key level supports? We'll go ahead and kind of reiterate that here today and just kind of give you a quick understanding of what's going on. Not a financial advisor, just love teaching people how to trade. Been trading for a very long time, and my goal and my passion is to help you become a better trader. So if you need that or you want that, I've got a trading academy, signal group, as well as a community where we all learn and grow together. We have weekly roundtable discussions. It's an amazing experience. So be sure to check that out, and thank you so much to my current community members. You make my life a better place. Just being able to help engage in conversation daily and help you grow. I love to be part of that. So thank you. Taking a look here at Bitcoin. Here's kind of the big picture. So we want to we want to start here with where we're going to go from here. Like, what's the big picture? What's going to happen next? Because I know I get that question a lot, and it's not as easy as just kind of giving you an answer. It's kind of explaining where we're at in the overall sense of things and where we've come from too. Because if you look at the back in the history, this ascending trend line for the most part is held very, very strong. So if it were to come back down and retest that, I think we'll still hold. That would probably be a pretty firm signal that we're no longer bullish and that we're likely bearish if we were to break this lower channel here. Okay, so kind of try to understand that. We're halfway to that point, and we've hit that point numerous times in the past. So this really isn't that abnormal of behavior. It's just unfortunate we had this nice, significant bull run for 2 weeks, and then obviously the reset button gets hit. That sucks. Yes, it's unfortunate, but that's just kind of the way of cryptocurrency. You got to kind of get used to that. So the price kind of coming down now, we're not in dire straits. Once again, I'll say that multiple times through this video and others just yet. And again, yes, it's very true that we expected 46,000 and 44,500 to hold as support levels, and we've lost those. That does happen. But we've got other support levels to rely on as well that are more likely also to hold now that we have more volume at a lower price point. So that being said, just kind of touch on that here. If you see 41,500 as a close approximate, basically 41.6 on Fibonacci retracement here, basically showing us that we have a support level right at about 41.5. Again, just speaking round numbers, 41.5 upwards of 43,000 is a support channel. We also have that reaffirmed support in the middle, essentially, right here at about 42,300. And that was a key level resistance for about 5 days before the price broke above and continued higher from there. That was basically our first breakout. Okay, so that being said, we're once again in pretty decent shape there in the sense that we have these support levels here to rely on. Okay, now looking at some other factors as well, we're pretty much, I know you could argue this is below, of course it is, like right around 47, 48, but we're still kind of holding this line here. Okay, so 50 on the RSI is effectively still maintaining itself as long as we hold 43,000. Now again, we're not going to be in dire straits per se if the price were to come below. It just could imply that it might take longer for it to come back up above. That's really all it's telling us. But for right now, we're pretty much maintaining this sideways here at this point, and I don't think that's a cause for major concern. But again, a close below 43,000 today would be disadvantageous in that sense. Now, taking a look at the bigger picture here, just kind of scrolling out, we also have this top line as well, where the price has continued to test that too. So truth be told here, if the price were to come back up and to try to recover, we could see a pretty strong resistance between 44.5 and 46,000. And what could in fact happen here is in the immediate future, just say until the price were to continue to progress downwards, just say as a worst case scenario, we will potentially try to, I don't think we're just going to shoot straight down. I think that's unlikely. These previous patterns that have occurred have been pretty significant volume, and even yesterday we had a lot of volume and the price still didn't come down as low as it could have. So to me, I feel like we're going to probably see a slight recovery and create a lower high, and then continue to maintain lower lows, at least until we see this turnaround and a stable foundation of volume built right around the price point of 41.5 to 43,000. Okay, so again, there's a few different scenarios, of course, you could argue, but generally speaking, we're not, again, in terrible shape, I don't feel. Once again, a close below this trend line would be probably a pretty significant turn in the wrong direction. That would be a concern, and between now and then, we shouldn't try to concern ourselves too much. I feel as if the price shouldn't go much lower than 41.5. If it were to, it might test this trend line right around 40,000. I think 40,000 is the absolute bottom. and I don't foresee us hitting that in the immediate future. Okay, I don't think so. Just based on the overall amount of investments, how much money's been coming into Bitcoin here recently, it wouldn't make a lot of sense for the price to continue to come down because a lot of people are holding at this price point. Okay, so again, just something to kind of consider and acknowledge. Look at the 4 hour. Let's go ahead and just kind of check the obvious here. We're still maintaining 200-day SMA here as well. And I forgot to notice this or recognize this, but if you look at the 50 here as well, that's trending right close to 41,500. Okay, so we got the 50-day SMA on the 1 day, still holding strong. I feel confident in the fact that Bitcoin hasn't lost its bottom yet because we're still above both moving averages. At least the 50 on the 1 day and the 200 on the 4 hour. Okay, so again, the 200 on the 4 hour chart is essentially trending closer to the price action right now. So that should, in essence, maintain itself and continue to push the price action higher from here. That's essentially how it should work. But bear in mind, there's always the inverted, death cross, so to speak, where that could actually push the price action down lower, which is why it's anticipated that the price might come up first to kind of test the 50 and then to possibly get rejected and work its way down to build more support at lower price points and to bounce off of other key level indicators. Okay, so again, just something to kind of think about there. But generally speaking, being above both the 200 on the 4 hour and the 50 on the 1 day, I feel comfortable at this point that we shouldn't expect much lower. Speaking of much lower, we can see the 4 hour here is still turning right around 30. So we didn't get that immediate bounce that we were expecting, and it did kind of get stopped out right around 43,700. So 43.7 is a potential resistance level for the moment on a shorter time frame that we could and want to probably be aware of. So if you're going to take a long position, maybe make it a pretty quick scalp trade there and try to get in and get out. I wouldn't recommend holding onto a position too long right now, just in general, without a trailing stop loss or something that's kind of tighter than usual. Once again, the bottom could drop out to an extent, and we could see somewhere in the low 40,000 range. All right. That's kind of where we're at there for the RSI, as well as MACD's kind of just telling us that we don't have this immediate shift and turnaround. You can see the momentum is still, it's dissipating, so to speak, for the bearish momentum, but it's still present and we're still there. Okay, so we're going to be there for probably another 24 to 48 hours. We'll probably see some sideways action, maybe some slight increase, and some slow volume accumulation over the weekend. Taking a look here at the 1 hour, though, let's kind of go ahead and acknowledge a couple of things here. First of all, T sequential, we came up to a 9, so we did technically get this small little run to the upside, and now we're seeing a retracement. So this is another reason why I'd, I guess, exercise some caution and just experience or expect rather the price to come down a little bit further here. Again, maybe to test 43,000 once more, build that stable foundation, but with us kind of hitting a 9 already on TD sequential, that might have been all the gas that was left in the tank there to kind of come up there and test about 43,900. We'll definitely see soon, but TD sequential is telling us we could expect a bit of a downtrend here. It may not be significant. It might just go straight sideways from here and kind of accumulate at 43, which I would expect, but that is just something we got to be aware of. Okay? And then obviously we take a look at the cloud. Here's some good news, some consolation, so to speak. The lagging span is going to intersect with the price action likely very soon. So the next 8 hours, roughly, we should experience the lagging span intersect with the price action, basically telling us if we have a short position, you might want to consider closing it. It doesn't mean you just immediately open a long position, but it does tell us that that shift in momentum is potentially coming to an end, or going to happen rather, and that the bearish presence is dissipating. Now we're still below the cloud. We'll possibly and likely get rejected by the cloud if it were to travel back into it, because once again we got to recognize that both these lines are considered resistance levels, and we got to expect that to hold the price action down until we get a break above. We don't have any reason to want to consider taking entry. Right? That's the general concept. So just bear that in mind. Again, a lot can happen between now and then, but generally speaking, we're still at a resistance here, tentatively, and you can see the resistance is probably right around 44,000 as a close approximate. So again, not dire straits by any stretch, but we're definitely not at that position where we should, kind of feel bullish once more, but we also shouldn't feel bearish either. I mean, we're kind of at that turning point, so to speak, that middle ground, and you could argue too that there's potential bounce off support here in the middle. It doesn't look like that's holding, honestly, but a lot of times this middle channel, so to speak, can work as a bouncer, or a bouncer. It can work as something to allow the price action to stay within those ranges. Again, that to me is a bit of a stretch. I don't really personally think that that's going to come to full fruition, perhaps, but generally speaking, the direction that we're seeing here, we're kind of right at that midpoint, and we could see the price go lower. We could see the price turn around. Honestly, at this point, it's too early to tell. We need more time, we need more volume accumulation. We want the price to go hopefully sideways for a couple more days here at this price point to get that stable foundation to potentially leg up again. Will it leg up strong or hard? Probably. I wouldn't think so. I don't think we should expect any kind of violent behavior. I think we're going to probably see a little bit more tighter candlesticks here for the next couple of days, at least going throughout the weekend, and probably see a definitive move next week. Again, with more volume gives us better results, and we just need more volume at this price point. So all in all, not terrible situation at all, but also it could be better. So again, take that how you will. Just make sure you're very cautious and careful. I wouldn't expect the price to just shoot straight up from here. That'd be very unlikely, but we should also expect the bottom to not drop out either. I do feel 41,500 to 43,000 is a pretty strong support channel there. We got both moving averages kind of trending at that point, as well as some decent key level previous resistances, which are now supports. So a lot of decent stuff here, I feel. So honestly, a small long position from here wouldn't be terrible. I do think that you might have some luck with that. But again, if you're going to plan to short, make sure it's a bit longer of a short without a tight stop loss, because we could experience the price come back up to right around 46 again, or 44.5, kind of that previous support channel that didn't really support us all that much. That very well could work as a resistance channel now. Okay, so this could be the new resistance for the moment until we build more volume. All right, so that's kind of where we're at there. We'll go ahead and keep you abreast on Bitcoin moving forward every single day, of course, to cover this. I'll start covering some other altcoins as well. Appreciate all the requests from my community members, and obviously my current subscribers too through YouTube. I really appreciate everything, and I look forward to helping you become a better trader one day at a time, right? That's all it takes. Just got to stay positive, keep a positive mental attitude. It's the important thing here. All right, I hope you have a great rest of your day. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much.